Hello, this is Beverly of Miles and Coffee, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. This will be a somber video, and I felt it was warranted because of some of the current events surrounding parts of Mexico in the news lately. So this is a coffee talk, and if you would like to join me, grab your tea, coffee, or whatever your morning beverage is, and just join me, okay? So I'll take another sip. By the way, this is organic coffee that I have found, and it is quite delicious and less acidic than my normal brew. So I'm learning new tricks to stay healthy, but at the same time enjoy my favorite beverage. So here's to you. Okay, as I said, it's a little serious, this topic, and I have done a video before about whether or not I feel safe in Mexico, and of course the answer was, is, and ever remains at this present time. Yes, the answer to that is yes, I do feel safe. And with that, I want to also elaborate on that, because I am not the type of person, never have been the type of person to kind of walk around in isolated areas by myself, or to walk around at night. Now, keeping in mind that I am comfortable traveling solo, but as far as safety precautions, those are concerns and issues that I personally take very seriously. So I, just am cautious about where I am and what time and my surroundings, if you will. But again, I'm in Mexico, and these are practices that I had also practiced in the States. Remember, for those of you who don't know or are new to this channel or are watching for the first time for whatever reason, I am originally from Chicago, from the South Side, where there are gang factions. And so you learn precautions at an early age to stay and keep yourself safe. So I'd like to preface what I will talk about with that, with the fact that some of the safety practices I have practiced for a while now. Where I am currently located is level 1 on the U.S. advisory for those of us who travel. There is a U.S. travel advisory on us.gov, and you can check it out for yourself for those of you who are considering travel to Mexico. I would highly encourage it, because probably 80 to 85% of what you hear in the media is either blown out of proportion, or there might be other motives behind the media hype. So I can only share my experience to speak to the issue. But where I am located is a level 1, and that is why I am located here. Remember that before I traveled to this particular area of Mexico, I was in Guadalajara, and that was specified for U.S. Travel Advisory Level 3, which meant extreme caution and take the necessary precautions as you walk, travel, go to doing your daily activities such as shopping, using your cell phone, being on public transportation, all of that. You have to consider your surroundings at all times. Saying all that, I felt safe. I never experienced a negative incident, but again, I did watch where I was at all times. One time I was out and I missed public transportation, not knowing or not being aware of the times, that particular route closed. So in that instance, instead of panicking, that's what Uber is for. And I remember that particular day saying it's getting way past the time that I'm usually out, let me go ahead and call an Uber. And that's what I did. But now I want to discuss or maybe give my take on a current incident which was so unfortunate for a family of 9. By now, you probably have heard, and if not, I'm leaving a couple of images somewhere here on this video just to kind of refresh your memory, and then you can go back and do further research or maybe find the original story. But again, there was a family of 9 traveling in 3 vehicles in a level 4 area of northern Mexico, closer to the border, right? I am in southern Mexico right now, where I walk, shop, eat during the day, run through my everyday activities, and feel the utmost safety. I've never had an occasion, and as a matter of fact, I tripped the other day, right? Because in Mexico, some of the streets are uneven. And before I could even think, I was getting up very quickly. 2 young people ran to my aid and helped me. Are you okay? In their own language now. I do not speak fluent Spanish. I just recognize some phrases and some words just to be able to make myself and my needs known. But they picked me up, I mean literally lifted me off the ground to make sure I was okay. And I was. I just have to watch my steps, because sometimes the streets are a little bit uneven and you may trip if you're not watching carefully, right? So those are things that I've experienced, that when you try to communicate or make your needs known, people are always willing to help. Well, let's get back to this family and the unfortunate event where they were caught between 2 gang factions, right? Because here in Mexico, just like any other large city where there might be some criminal activity, there are parts of Mexico where, yes, there are warring cartels. That is not new. That information is well known, and it is just for anyone who is aware of Mexico, or any country for that matter, you are aware of the crime element. Just like, again, me being from Chicago, I was very highly aware of gangs and gang activity, and also drug activity. So those are things you try to avoid. This family traveling to whatever event they were on their way to. By the way, it doesn't matter that they were Mormons. I just call it a family, where there were 3 women, if I'm not mistaken, 6 children. And they, on their travel, they happened to be in a route where they were caught in an ambush between 2 warring cartels. Wrong place at the wrong time, unfortunately. And not only was their car attacked with gunfire and shot up, but then the cartel also burned everyone in the car. I mean, the car was totally burned. That is so unfortunate. I'm pretty aware, or maybe I'm pretty sure that family was aware where they were, or where they were living, and where they were traveling to, and what area they were traveling in. Those are things you have to keep in mind. So you do research, and then you make the decision. We know we're in a level 4 area, and we're traveling. We will keep our eyes out. But in the case that there is gunfire between 2 cartels, or in the United States, 2 gangs, there's not much you can do. So now I want to switch to gang violence in Chicago, which is constant, and being in the wrong place at the wrong time. For instance, on Halloween, I cried when I heard about the 3-year-old that was shot while trick-or-treating. Maybe, I think she was either 3 or 7. Please forgive me, but obviously she was of walking age, so older than. Anyway, she was trick-or-treating, and just happened to be where at one time there were 2 gangs fighting, and she was shot with gunfire. A week later, or 2 weeks later, another young boy was shot in the same area of Chicago, just going about his daily business because of gangs that are fighting. I also want to speak to, as we're talking about violence and safety, that I feel safer here than I did in the States, where we actively practice active gun shooters. and what to do and how to close our doors and tell our children if someone comes in, we will throw books. That was a situation where I never felt safe at work and was always aware when doors were open or the entrances and exits, because in the States, too often there is gunfire or an active shooter situation or in a Walmart. I have not felt that as I shop here at Walmart or Sam's or grocery or a street market. I've never felt where I'm unsafe or have to be prepared for an active shooter. Do I watch my surroundings? Of course I do. But I want you to weigh the difference, because in my opinion, there is much more violence on a daily basis in regular everyday situations than I have experienced or am privy to where I am located. So I want to make my family and friends aware that I am safe. I'm in a level 1 zone. That does not mean that I feel like, oh, it's hunky-dory and everything is just wonderful and peachy cream. No, I am always aware of my surroundings, and I'm always conscious and also conscious of what time of day it is. See? So those are things you have to consider. I would still recommend, because of the other benefits of low cost of living, fresh vegetables, healthcare, which I will get into in a later situation. Housing is just a little bit more affordable, but you have to be aware and do research at all times. So thank you for watching. Thank you for having coffee with me today. And I just thought that it was time to let you know about some of the things that are happening and the decisions that go into traveling abroad, right? Okay, so be safe with that, I would like to say, and keep me always in your positive thoughts. And that's all I have. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I really would appreciate that. And what comments do you have? You guys, if you comment, then I will know what else to talk about. This video came as a result of several conversations that I've had with friends and family that wanted to know how I'm doing, or maybe did not want to express fear but concern after hearing about what happened to the family of 9. So when you make comments or let me know your concerns, it also helps me to know how to add more content, right, to make this particular channel more relevant from my experience, right? So thank you for now, and we'll see you later, milers. Have a great day. Bye-bye.